7:07.
Meeting is called to order at 7:07 on September the 10th. Call of board members.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Ms. Shipman,
Here.
Mr. Beverly.
Yeah.
Number 3, discuss and or take action on consent agenda on all items under the consent agenda will be heard consecutively unless opposition is presented, in which case the contested items will be considered, discussed, and appropriate action taken separately. A, minutes of the August 13th meeting.
Town of Bradley Board of Trustees meeting, August 13th, 2024 minutes. The Town of Bradley held a regular Board of Trustees meeting on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024 at 7 p.m. The meeting was held at the Bradley Community Building located at 322 McKee Street, Bradley, Oklahoma. Called to order, the board member Dean Sokol called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Roll call, Town Clerk Rachel Snyder called the roll. Board of Trustee members present were as follows: Earl Cox, Dean Sokol, Dean Beverly. Therefore, a quorum was established. Discuss or take action on consent agenda. Earl Cox read items on the consent agenda. Earl Cox moved to approve the consent agenda. Dean Sokol seconded it. The votes were as follows. Mr. Cox, yes. Mr. Sokol, yes. Mr. Beverly, yes. Discuss or take action on mail received. Earl Cox motion to pay all bills. The votes were as Cox, yes. Sokol, yes. Beverly, yes. Discuss and take action on accountant quotes for services. I'm sorry. That's a typo and I'll have to fix that. I didn't clear it the way I was supposed to. Rachel Snyder, Town Clerk, presented and explained the purchase orders for the Town of Bradley accounts. Earl Cox made a motion to approve purchase orders. Votes were as follows: Cox, yes. Dean Sokol, yes. Dean Beverly, yes. Discuss and take action on PSO lights contract. Mayor Earl Cox has spoken to Amy and stated he is currently waiting on the callback from engineer. Votes to continue working on this issue were Cox, yes. Sokol, yes. Beverly, yes. Discuss and or take action, update information with ARPA. Town Clerk Rachel Snyder is working on getting the required backup codes needed to enter the ARPA portal. A motion was made by Mr. Cox to continue working on this issue. Dean Sokol seconded the motion. The votes were as follows: Cox, yes. Sokol, yes. Beverly, yes. Discuss or take action on OML training for Mayor Earl Cox. The current training locations are too far away for travel. Was recommended to wait until January 2025 for new dates and locations of trainings offered by OML. Mr. Cox made a motion that this is what we do. Dean Sokol seconded it. Votes were as follows: Cox, yes. Sokol, yes. Beverly, yes. Number 9, discuss and take action on resignation of chairperson number 2, Dean Sokol. Dean Sokol gave his resignation effective August 13th, 2024. Board accepted Dean Sokol's resignations. Votes were as follows: Cox, yes. Beverly, yes. Discuss or take action on setting special meeting / election. Board discussed holding election on August 29th, 2024. Earl Cox made a motion that we accept that date for the election. Dean Beverly seconded the motion. Cox voted yes. Beverly voted yes. Earl Cox made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:31 p.m. Votes were as follows: Earl Cox, yes. Dean Beverly, yes.
Okay, Number B on here, paying bills, PSO, all accounts, RWD and all accounts, billing, Waste Connection, ONG, Clark Pay, and Althena Smith. Make a motion, we do that.
Second.
It's just you and Mr. Beverly that can sign. Yeah, that's Mr. Peel. There's three of these.
Number 4, discuss and/or take action on mail received.
That's the bills.
Do what?
That's just the bills.
I make a motion, we'll do that.
Need a second.
We're gonna skip number 5. Number 6, discuss and/or take action on purchase of refrigerator.
No, number 5, he's
Number
here.
Oh.
Mr. Peel is here.
Oh, he's, okay.
Yes. Mr. Peel, let you go ahead and explain to the town.
Okay, I'm Ron Peel with ASCOG, and my main purpose here is to present to you who we are and what we can do for you. We offer a REAP program, which is a Rural Economic Action Plan. And the gun here is your REAP history, which I think you've got there in front of you.
Yes, sir.
That is just what you have requested from us in the past, since inception, since '99 to current. So there's no maximum that you can request, there is no minimum. So what we like is for, inside the application, there's a 5-year plan. And that's about it. I didn't make extra copies, but there's That's basically what it is. This here is your document. So that basically lists what you say the town needs. So whatever we decide to do here today, that is your form to use as you see fit. We require for the application, but it's more of a document to help you guys plan for what you need. And it could be, if you know how to fund it, if you know what's gonna cost, the more information you have on there, the more it helps us to find how we can help. There is an extra copy of the application, an extra copy of the instructions. Here's I did have copies of a 5-year plan.
And this is due by September 30th?
September 30th, but we will write the grant for you.
Oh,
We will do, only thing that we ask you to do is that first page, if you'll do that first page,
this first page?
and it'll take you 2 minutes to do it, where it'll take me 20 minutes.
Okay,
Then we'll need a decision by the board of what your priorities are. And then what you wanna do, whether you wanna revitalize the community center, or you wanna do the streets, or whatever you decide to do. That's, if you wanna hit the water board out, you can hit the water board out, or whatever you decide to do. If you'll send me your 5-year plan, I can help you devise a plan to move forward and go forward. The grants are graded on a 2-part grading system. Make copies of this for everybody. These are your objective points. This is where we get your point from, depending on what you decide to do, where you get points from. Okay, we add your objective points to the subjective. The subjective points is where the ad hoc board grades the projects on 0 to 30 points. And you're not graded against other projects or other towns. Your project is graded on its own merit, whether you're helping a fire department, the water board, or whatever it is, that project is graded on its own. You're not looking at anybody else, or just looking at your project. So we take those points, add them to the objective points, then we sort all the projects by scores, highest to lowest, and then we fund them till we're out of money. This year, we've got about 2.6 million to distribute among 77 entities. So, and the sooner you can get the application to me, the longer I have to look at it. So if I'm missing something, or if it needs to be reworded, and the longer I look at something, the better it's gonna sound.
but the application,
itself is due by September 30th.
that's this whole,
What I need from you is
the
a
front page.
front page and a decision by the board on what they wanna do. So I can build the application and everything and put the minutes in there later. So I can submit the application September 30th and
And
put
then
in,
add the minutes.
add whatever I need to as time goes on. They are graded in November. So once November hits, there's nothing more I can do. We like to have September 30th as the deadline, so that way everything in there is ready. But I'm here, I will do whatever you need to do, as long as you need to. When they go before the board, the project summary is all they see.
Oh. It's like the score page.
Yeah, they don't see the whole application. All they see is this page, so, your amount in kind, cash leverage, that's all they grade your project off of. So whatever narrative you give me, I have to break it down into 2 to 3 sentences.
In kind. It's
In
like,
kind would be like, work that the town plans on doing themselves. A lot of larger communities that have the ability to do their streets, they'll count that as income. Or if they have a water superintendent that can do part of the water stuff, or the water board, that can count as income.
Okay, so working with the water board, would count as in-kind on this
Yes, that's
application.
anything the water board does themselves for a water project would count as in-kind.
Okay.
So now let's say a new water line within the city or wherever you may need it.
When will this go into effect, 25?
It will,
If we're.
they're graded in
Yeah.
November. Our board approves them in December. And then you as the mayor, you will come and sign the contract in January.
Oh,
And then you can start using the funds as soon as you sign it.
oh,
Then the way the funds work is you can, send us an invoice and we will pay the invoice to you and you pay the contract. Or you could pay the contract and then request reimbursement. But a lot of times, especially talking about big amounts, $60,000, $70,000, small towns can't afford that. So we offer an advance, more or less. And that advance can be a small portion of it, or it can be the whole amount. Do we have any questions?
So the board would have to state what they wanna use it on,
Yes.
so we'd have to have another meeting for that to be included on the minutes.
Yeah. What I would recommend is approve the 5-year plan and just write down some stuff that you think you need. And we'll approve that 5-year plan, and as time goes on, it will develop into what we need.
Okay,
But we just need that temporary for now, and then what you wanna do for this year. We need a project, and we need to know how much you're asking for. So if you already know you want a new utility vehicle or a new police car, I mean, you don't have a police department, but you wanna revitalize the community center. So okay, what's it gonna cost? 10,000 or 90,000? And we want you to include a cost estimate with that because we wanna make sure you're asking for the appropriate amount of money. We don't wanna give you 30,000 when it's actually cost 2 million,
right.
so.
Well, we've got some streets that needs to have work done to them, and also we need to have some tree trimming done. We done it.
Well, I'm glad you brought up
We,
streets,
we
because
did tree trimming here, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago.
I can tell you brought up about streets, because streets is a very big project for ASCO. We approve a lot of streets. And with Gary is, the ASCO will pay for the materials. And then with Gary, he pays for the labor and equipment use. So he comes in, he repaves 2 miles of streets within the town, I think that would be the whole of the town. So we get all the streets within the town done on 1 grant. Or if you need, storm sirens is another big one. So, and if you need storm sirens, we'll get with a company to come down and look at the town and say, you need 1, 2, or 3 storm sirens, and you need them at point A, point B, and point C. They will tell you where's the best to put them at and what it would cost you for 1, 2, or 3 of them.
Well, we've got one up here, but by the fire, volunteer fire department.
Now, if you want,
But I don't know where the deal is, or,
another thing with the
to
volunteer fire
activate.
fire departments are always needing equipment, protective PPE. You could actually use it to buy PPE for the fire department if you wanted to. Are there any other questions? The other thing is, your dues for ASCOG have not been paid in some time.
I have the receipt right here. We just paid them in July of 2023. I just found it. I'm new at this.
No, you're
When
fine.
I got the call about y'all and I saw the email, I started digging and looking. Cause I read it and you have to be current to get the more points.
Right,
And, it was paid on 8/2/2023 is what it says.
okay, see, they're paid every year, so.
Right.
And
But
I
I'm just
don't-
saying, we never received a new one since I've been in charge of paying the
Right.
bills, so.
So, if you'll send me an email about it, I will forward it to Robert Denard, he's our resource management director, and he will reach out to you and say, however much your dues are, and I don't know if it's a past due amount or what, I'm not
Right.
charged a lot of that, so.
Right.
And he will give you, I can't stress enough about, you are almost guaranteed to get a REAP grant every third year.
Every 3
There are
years.
some towns that get a REAP grant every year for the past 10 years.
You said every how long?
You're almost guaranteed to get one every third year. Now, but there are some communities that have gotten one every year for the past 10 years. So, I mean, I would encourage you, if you don't get one, if you apply for one and you don't get it that year, you get an additional 9 points the second year. If you don't get it again, you get an additional 14 points the third year. You're pretty much guaranteed to get it the third year. And that's on that, that grading point worksheet. You need a colorful copy? So on the bottom left, it talks about the points. The last 2 years, last 3 years. And on this here, that you're looking at, if you can put one item there today, and that's what you're applying for, that will be fine.
And then that would be in these minutes approving it. I can type them up and email them to
Yeah,
you.
and they don't have to be the official minutes. They can just be typed up and that we'll make them official next month.
Right.
So, but we just need to know what you're applying for and how much you're applying for. And if you have trouble getting estimates, we can help there for you as well. Whether it's a contractor for water or sewer or a building. We're working for the town of Apache right now, and we've got them a grant for $272,000 to redo their community center. So I mean, the town of Velma, they're a small,
Yeah.
they've got $100,000 in materials to redo their streets. Now, those are large numbers, but still, even if you only got $40,000 for streets, $40,000 would do a lot when you're talking about a small town.
If you need to ask you a question. Last time our streets were redone, mine is the only street in all of Bradley that did not get done.
Nope. No, it's not the only one.
In town,
No,
All the rest
one
were
that goes
paved.
up next.
West side of my house didn't get done.
Ricky Beverly to Terry's house.
Colbert never gets done.
When we do the streets, we ask Gary to, or town, either one to give us a map of the
Yeah.
town and the streets that you're going to repave. So then we assess that, okay, that's 2 miles of street, or that's 5 miles of street, whatever the case may be. And he'll come up with a list of, you need 500 tons of chips and this much diesel, and he'll calculate all of that. His office does a great job of doing what they need, so, and then,
Your street has been treated like an alley for too long.
Yes.
That's the problem with it.
sorry.
No,
It more or less
Not
needs
the
to be
other streets, 'cause
reclaimed.
no,
I literally either go to the post office, I come down Main Street,
Yeah.
or I go the back way past, the
yeah.
Penix to go out onto the highway. I don't drive around Bradley, so
Can I
I'm
ask
sorry.
you something?
Yes.
So, used to, when I was on the board, I did write the grant for the water line. But seems like also rural water also has written a grant also. Is it still that way? Can we still do the RIP grant?
the problem with the rural water district is
Uh-huh.
the rural water districts are not a member of ASCOG
Uh-huh.
and cannot be a member because of our
Okay.
bylaws.
Okay.
So, a lot of times the small towns are, their water district is their public works authority.
Right.
Like the town of Lakiva only exists because of the water district.
Mhm.
So the town council is the same as the water board council. So, now, a county commissioner can give up his REAP grant for a town, or a water district, or a fire department, if he has nothing else he wants to do with it. But unfortunately, commissioners don't have enough money to do what they wanna do. But there's things that have to be done, so.
And we appreciate ours, so we just,
Yes, we do.
But you know that last year, Gary wrote a REAP grant for the water district to repair one of their wells.
and it's both of them.
So-
Yeah.
That's just a great example of how we can help. And if you need anything else outside of the REAP grant, being a member, that's what we're here for. So,
You don't know what the fee is to be a part of ASCO or anything
I
like
do
that?
not,
And it's a yearly fee?
it is.
And I have the invoice from last time was $511, but like he said, since we haven't, I had no knowledge of this till Donna gave this gentleman my number and we talked and.
COVID has messed everything up. I mean, I can't even estimate anything no more. I mean, a 400,000 project is now over $1 million to do.
That's right.
So, I mean, water district knows exactly, you could build a water tower 4 years ago for $80,000. Now you can't build one for less than $2 million. So,
No, it's not there. It has to be
But-
through the town. But
I
we
will email him, I will email him tomorrow, when I get off work, I will go to the office, I will email him. And he will email his resource manager,
uh-huh.
and that resource manager will email me an invoice telling me what I need to
And the
pay,
dues will be paid.
and then I will get them paid.
He will email you, but he'll probably follow it up with a phone call. And that's what I recommend is, emails are great, but if you talk to somebody in person, you get a lot more done.
Right, no.
We need to fill this out for that then.
So the water company,
What is it that you need from us tonight in order to start this process?
A project,
So, where would I list that?
right there on that top left line, just right here.
Number one, do we have any suggestions besides streets?
well, we need a digger. We need to be able to expose our lines. Right now, that is what is costing the water company so much money, is
Renting the diggers?
renting diggers. We have to pay $1,200 for every leak for the digger to come.
When it comes to equipment's a good project, but they have to prove that you have a place to store it.
Which we do.
You can't store it in a field with a coffee can on the exhaust, they won't approve it.
No,
But
we have a.
if you have a
bar.
storage building to put it, then yes, they got a place to put it. So that's the big thing with backhoes and skid steers, they don't want it sitting out in a field somewhere.
That is something that will
Right.
benefit everybody in the town of Bradwick, is for us to be
We
able
we
to.
just need to say that in our grant, the piece of equipment will be stored in a
Yeah.
covered facility.
We have a steel barn building right next door,
Okay.
Now,
so.
we've got an excavator down there now, but, it hadn't been started, batteries and everything, I don't know
That's
what
another
it's
thing
gonna
to
be
we
to
can
get
also
back
do,
in working
we can also do
condition.
repairs
Right.
on a piece of equipment too.
So that is something that the water company needs. We are getting a pickup. We're gonna try to get that, thanks to the REG grant and to ORWA. We are going to get a
I saw that.
pickup. So that's gonna be a big help to us. And then, something else that we could use is I don't know how much money, and I don't know if this is out of so I'm just gonna say, having a little building for the water company so that we do have a place to store it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be da-da-da-da, but to be able to store our equipment.
When you're applying for a project and it's not a water or sewer, if it's water or sewer, you always use the center line, the blue area, but if it's not, then you won't use that. So if it's streets or something else, you use the far right-hand side. Now, if you look about halfway down to the bottom of the gray box, it talks about local effort. So local effort is what are you putting in toward the project? So if you're doing streets, the in-kind from the county is going to count as your leverage, and you've already met that max. So you max out at $3,500. So in-kind is going to match it. If you're purchasing a piece of equipment, I recommend applying that much match, $3,500, toward getting that piece of equipment. So if the equipment is $60,000, we're gonna ask for 55 and we're gonna, or 60 and we're gonna put in 5,000, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes you just don't have the money, you can't afford it, which is fine, you just don't get those points.
What do we wanna put down?
I just do the streets for now, just for something.
Just as
Get it
for
started,
tonight,
get it started.
streets.
Yeah, get it started and figure out what we'll do from there.
What about the equipment in the barn to be repaired? It's been in there for years. Said, no, they just need minor repairs on most of them, I heard.
See, we could do barn repairs, but we couldn't do
No.
equipment
No
and barn.
equipment.
We're talking, the barn's fine, we're talking the equipment inside the
Gotcha.
barn. If I could get anybody from the numbers that Mr. Beverly has given me to call us back, that'd be great, but nobody will
Well,
return
if
the
I
call.
come find a mechanic, nobody wants to come over and work on nothing, they just don't. I'll get ahold of, the one there across from Super C, see if I can get their number
Okay,
and see what they say.
Chandler's?
Yeah, see what they say.
Okay,
I'll get it for you tomorrow or something, text it to you.
And you can reach out to me if you have a problem finding mechanics, engineers, electricians, plumbers, whatever you need.
What about the Aaron Johnston? He won't do
We
it.
already tried.
We talked to him and,
He won't do it.
yeah,
He was supposed to do it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Streets,
Yeah.
and what is this?
Equipment
the
repair.
last thing he said to us, something about we need to get it moved all the way out there to work on, I mean,
That's just put it on by.
kinda crazy, I mean.
Under applicant would be Town of Bradley.
Yes. And along that same line, I know you have an interlocal agreement with commissioners, but you gotta make sure that, glad he's here today, to make sure, hey, are you willing to do our streets next year? Are you willing to do the streets next? Can you do the streets next year for Bradley?
Bradley is one of my priorities next year.
Okay, so
So-
if we get if we can pay for the chips and stuff, then we'll get it done, so, do you have that in-kind verification form that I sent you? The,
Gary, will that mean like the back road from Ellick to,
No,
it's the
town,
The town of,
the back
no,
roads coming from?
are you
Ellick?
talking, like the
They go
river?
down, the highway down the
Oh.
hill.
it'll be
The
this
town
form,
of
but
Bradley.
it's basically
The
saying
original
it's gonna
pride of town of
take
Bradley.
you,
Maybe we'll get some of those
40 hours,
roads that
50
are
hours.
not paid,
Oh.
get those paid.
Yeah, and I got this filled out with the
Just-
estimate.
Yeah, here's the bid.
I'm mowing my street at this point.
Mine is encroaching in. It used to be this wide, now it's gone down about this wide and it's getting.
You got all the half-
Yeah, yours needs to be first. Yours needs to be the first.
I'm surprised.
It ain't been done for
On your streets, if you decide not to use the commissioner, it's fine, it's still, you can hire TNG or somebody, asphalt company to do it. But they'll do all of it, you're not gonna do nearly as much as what he can do for the same price.
But there's a lot we
Where,
can't.
where it says authorized official,
The authorized official is always the mayor.
okay,
Did you want this?
What about
You can have that.
getting help with putting it, Earl,
Do what?
what about using some of that to get the sign put back out there on the highway?
what sign?
Welcome to Bradley that goes
Yeah,
out west.
they're not, we're not gonna be able to put it until all that construction is done, cause they're just now starting down at that end.
They're done. Right there, where it was supposed to be is done.
Oh,
The-
is it?
Yes.
The water lines that are in, water lines and sewer lines that are in Bradley,
Yeah.
are they in the middle of the street or are they off to the side?
They're off to the side.
Okay, 'cause normally we won't do any street work as long as your sewer lines or water lines are down the middle of the street.
We have no sewer lines, it's only, water.
Only water.
Yes.
So you know, the town of Goldsby, recently, they were all on, individual sewers, and we've gotten them a grant where we're gonna put them on sewer lagoons. But that's a huge grant, I mean, I think it's 3 million,
Yeah.
so that's a huge grant, there's a lot of sewer line that's going in that, but they're a little bit bigger, so.
And they're growing every day, so they've
Yeah.
got huge.
So Earl, what do y'all think on that one?
What?
Y'all think that working to Bradley or back out there? the
I've got
water-
permission from McBain to put it over about where it was at. I haven't gotten hold of Royce yet to see
Okay.
what he's gonna charge us to put it back up.
Okay.
Hey, you guys talking about your election earlier, are you a 5-member board?
Three.
Three? So it's just you three, you're the clerk, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is just an outsider looking in, not a member of ASCOG. This is just my, have you thought about becoming a 5-member board? Well, I'm only thinking that because
From over there.
the water board, I'm glad you guys are here so you can hear what I'm saying to you as well. My opinion, this is Monfield, not ASCOG, would be for somebody from the water board to be on the town council board. But then somebody from the town council board needs to be on the water board. The water board, how big is your board?
Three.
3? Then if you guys could make yourself a 5-member board, you get 2 additional members that are also members of the town council.
I appreciate what you're saying, but that is to get people to.
Okay, so you've got 3 people.
participate.
So the 2 people that are on the water board right now, 2 of them become 2 here, and then 2 of you become 2 of there. And then you coincide your meetings. This is an outsider looking in, but if 2 of you become members of the water board, 2 of you become members of this board, that way you all have skin in the game, you might say. But then you can also have your meetings the same day. Town board meeting, then public works, or water board meeting, if you wanted to do that.
Well, it's taken us a long time, because we used to be R1, and I don't know, it was before me, but there was a split off between the town and the rural water district, we became a rural water district at that point. And so, we still to this day get confused of whether we are the town of Bradley or if we are the rural water district.
Right.
And putting those together like that is gonna make the confusion, because, whenever Juanita was doing the RIC grants and stuff, she would always say, the town would put in for a grant, and she'd say, well, the water company can't get that grant because the town is,
That's right, see, the water deal is separate from the tax.
Right. But if we could make it the same, they would have skin in the game still. But that's an outsider looking in for both parts. I think it would, again, outsider looking in, I think it would benefit the town, I think it would benefit the water.
you're just saying the town would then know what the water company needed, and then the water company would know what the town needed.
Right, and then when it comes to approving the 5-year plan, you would have a say in it. But then everything the water board does, they would have a say in it as well.
But we kind of all work together, we
Yeah.
work together as a community anyways,
It's one thing to work together, it's another thing to actually have say in it.
yeah.
So you actually have a part in it, have a say so in it. But that's an outsider looking in. So I hope you don't mind me saying that.
I agree with what Ron's saying, because if you got, say, 2 people off the town board on the water board, 2 people on the water board on the town board, and y'all all have a say of what's going in, what's gonna be done. and
What is
you'll all be-
needed, what is,
You'll all be working together,
yeah,
and that's what you need to do.
yeah.
If you-
It makes it easier for him to help you, it makes it easier for me
help us.
to help you.
When it comes to getting a quorum, right now, you have to have 2 people all the time to have a quorum. If you don't have 2 people, then you're done for. If you had a 5-member board, you'd have more luck of getting a 3rd person there. So you'd be adding 2 people, but you have luck of getting 3 to a board meeting.
It would take a vote of the people to bring the town board from a 3-member board to a 5-member board. And in order for more members to be on the water board, they would have to have their bills paid in full and be rural water district members in good standing. That's the only way they can even vote, much less serve on the board. So that's the problem we're having. That's the bump.
But
The
anybody on the
obstacle.
water board is gonna be in good standing with their water bills.
No, you can't vote if you don't have your.
Oh, I understand. I got
That's
you.
what she's saying.
But
I
Gotta
got
have
you.
your bills paid in
that
full.
doesn't,
I got
Have
you.
anything to do with what you're
Yeah,
talking
I understand what you're saying now, so, yeah, it's,
So if we've got 2 members on the board whose water bills are not paid in full and they're not in good standing, they can't serve on the water board.
I understand that.
And we need a vote of the people, and that's gonna take, an initiative referendum and put it on the ballot, and for the people to vote, to bring the board from a 3-member to a 5-member board. And that's a big hurdle to jump over, a lot of people don't wanna do that.
well, and also then to maintain that 5-member board.
Mhm.
Because you can, enact that and say, yes, that's gonna be a great thing and we can do that. But sustaining 5 board members here and 5 board members there, because it's the same people, you will see the same people that's sitting in this room right now. It is the same people that will be at our board members.
And they're gonna be
this is
fighting.
us.
Exactly, so you got these same 3 people that are board members now,
That's what he said, do it all the meetings, all at
Yeah,
once.
yeah, yeah.
so if you got these same 3 people as town council board members, plus 2 water board members that are already here, they'd just be sitting up here instead of out there. Then when it comes time for the water board meeting, the same board members that are there, plus 2 additional members that are already up here. But those are, again, something that I think needs to be an in-depth discussion. And if you need us here to help that, we are willing.
And we'll still be
I know
two
Gary's
different
willing.
You know,
entities.
the thing of it is Ron and I work really good together. He's been over backwards to get this, rural water district pumps fixed,
Yes,
and they're fixed.
yes.
We're talking $52,000 or
Yes.
something,
Yes,
and, because we want to help Bradley,
yes,
is what we want to do.
yes.
You got lots of problems.
Bradley doesn't wanna
Streets,
help itself,
trees.
that's the problem.
Do what?
That's it in a nutshell, Bradley doesn't wanna help itself. We don't have enough people in this town who wanna contribute.
Well, you
about.
got
I don't
enough
think it's
people
so
in
much
this.
that, I think the people just don't realize, what can be done.
They don't, Frankie, they don't realize. But there's enough people right here to take care of both boards.
When it comes to that there, what also we recommend is your 5-year plan. As it evolves, we would recommend putting it on a dry erase board where it can be erased and put together and post it somewhere to where the water board sees it every time that they're having a meeting, they see it there. In addition to that, anybody that comes into the community center, they will see it as well. Okay, I see the town's got issues and working on it, or that I really didn't realize that that was gonna cost that much. And a lot of people don't realize is town's got bills, water board has bills. Why is my water bill so much? Well, it costs us X amount of dollars to produce that much water, so I can't just give it to you. Then how am I gonna pay my bills? It's the same with the town. I mean, they cost you X amount of dollars to operate, and they want nice streets. It takes money to operate.
You wanna make a motion that we accept this?
I make a
application?
motion, we accept this 5
I'll
years.
second it. And I'll get with Gary later and we'll hash out all the admin stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will for sure, you know, discuss that, I mean, among our water board and among the town board of, you know, how maybe we can, I don't know how to, like Vera said, you know, there will be, I guess the town would take a vote, if they wanted to do a 5-member board or 4-member, you know, or a 3-member board, you know.
Well, I think this is the way, this is how we get it started. Then I'd also recommend whenever the water board has their meeting, because they're in control right now. When the water board has your meeting, you're in control, and then you have your discussion about it. And you'll be in control, and they'll be listening.
Cause we've always helped them on the water, that's the reason we got the track on stuff, with in case they busted the water line and
Yeah,
things like that, you know, cause we knew they couldn't afford to
Yeah.
get somebody over to dig and stuff, you know what I mean, so.
Um,
We're all friends, we've known one another
Yeah,
for
we
years
all
and
love
years
the
and
town
years.
of
yeah.
Bradley, and we wanna make
Yeah.
it the best that we possibly can, that's why we work together so well. You know, you
Yeah.
say, you know, having skin in the game, but this is our lives, we have skin in the game.
Ronald,
Yeah.
which community is it that we're buying, equipment for the nutrition center?
what?
I was asking Riley.
Oh,
For the nutrition center?
Yeah, that like the refrigerator and stuff.
I think so.
But one of the communities is, the nutrition side is the refrigerator went out. So they need a new refrigerator, so, well, as long as we're buying a refrigerator, let's go ahead and replace all of your equipment. So we're getting them a grant for $17,000 to replace all of their kitchen equipment, so that's also an option.
Is there anything else? Okay, number 6, discuss and take action on the purchase of refrigerator from the local vendor.
What? I didn't have him, I just had Ron Peel on the board.
not unless y'all have any questions of me. Y'all have any questions of me, or?
No, sir, I would have put you on here, I didn't know you'd be in attendance, I was just
Oh,
told Mr.
well,
Peel was, I
yeah.
apologize for
Yeah,
that.
no, that's okay, no, that's no
I
problem.
gotta apologize for that, because when I found out I was coming, I talked to Gary, and I said, hey, Gary, I'm coming here, you wanna join me? So he's like, hey, yeah, and so.
Yeah.
That's fine,
And
I just didn't mean to cut him off by going on to
Yeah,
the
but,
next
well,
thing.
no, that's
me and
fine.
Gary, we work well together, so.
Yeah.
I'm doing something in one of his towns, like, hey, come talk to him with me, so.
Oh, y'all can write my number down if you need to contact me. I didn't bring that card. My personal cell phone is 405-779-3370. So,
Thank you, Mr.
when
Brady.
you have some issues over here on the streets and trees and stuff, but I know, I've been, you probably haven't seen me, but I've been over here driving around, and you got some horrible streets and tree problems bad. We came over on Colbert Street here a month or so ago, couldn't get down that road. And-
Yeah,
I know,
that's
I
our
drive the bus
street.
down that road.
Okay, and anyway, I've had them bring a skid steer over here and some rock, and
Yeah,
we got it passable,
yeah,
but we're gonna fix that street and trim those trees out.
yeah.
But if this grant deal comes through, we can probably do a lot more than what, you know, I wanna fix it where you can just drive right on through there and
Yeah,
make it.
I live in Bradley, I work at Alex Public Schools as a
Oh,
bus driver and janitor, and I've been driving the bus route for Bradley since
Yeah.
2016.
Oh, okay.
The town of Ellick.
Yeah.
We recently did their dog kennel for them. We can't do dog kennels, so we had to call it an animal control facility. But those dog kennels is part of that grant, and we had to get, Milford was the mayor then, and he couldn't get nobody to come and give him an estimate, so we had to get plumbers out there, we had to get electricians out there, a concrete guy to help him, so. If anybody wants my card, I'm gonna put a bunch of them back on the table.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to number 6, discuss or take action on purchase of refrigerator from local vendor.
I'm gonna explain, I had heard that a previous board member had tried to go to Home Depot to buy the stove or the refrigerator or whatever with the town check. And Home Depot will not accept a town check. Not from us, not from Norman, not from nobody. I talked to Jeremiah at Home Depot in length, cause I was not gonna have Mr. Beverly or Mr. Cox come up, sign a check, me drive all the way to Norman to be told no. I wanted to verify everything before I went. He does not, the corporation of Home Depot, and I called Lowe's, does not accept town checks for the simple fact that it says City of Norman, Town of Bradley. They have no way to verify that I'm an authorized signer at the time of sale. So, I did a little research for our local vendors who will take our checks. Joe's Maytag for the French door bottom freezer that y'all have voted on wants $1,666.99.
Delivered.
No, not delivered. Gorilla World, French doors, bottom freezer, $9.99 plus $75 for delivery. But I was not gonna take the liberty of just, oh, okay, that'll do. No, we approved Home Depot and this amount, so I brought it here to be reconfirmed that this is what the public residents of Town of Bradley would like.
So how tall is the one at, Gorilla World?
Is it regular?
It's a regular refrigerator. It's just like a house refrigerator that we're
I
getting.
don't wanna be,
Because they hide.
I don't wanna be a Debbie Downer, but Gorilla World is, they have some great deals. I've had a friend buy some appliance from there, and it did not work correctly, and then they would not guarantee it. She had to go through getting with the person who,
The manufacturer.
and it was about a 3 or 4 month.
Oh, yeah.
They're all that way now.
Have you tried
Where I bought mine.
I went
Have
to-
you,
I
tried
went to
the
Joe's
Hans?
Maytag, and I bought their warranty and their extended warranty, and they still wouldn't stand behind it. So I had to wind up suing them to make them fix. I'm running washing.
Have
Where
you
was
tried the
that?
Hans
Joe's.
appliance?
Joe's?
That's in the city
I
and
bought
they won't
tons of
take
stuff
a
from them.
check.
They won't stand behind that. No man's not
They
there
don't
now.
know
Somebody else
Bradley
has took
from
it over.
nowhere. It's a
And he
town
won't-
check.
I think
They can't
somehow
verify that I'm
he
a
won't
si-
stand, he won't
authorized
fix, he won't
signer.
fix, he won't do nothing.
They can't verify that Mr. Cox, like when you go and you pay with the check, they can say, oh, we looked at her ID. And they wrote your ID on the top.
Can they not take some money out of the account and put it to where somebody can go get it, buy one?
It's a cashier's check.
Yeah.
Will they not take that?
Yes, they will take
Okay.
that.
So why,
Well, is that an option?
But that was not approved, so I'm presenting all options
She's trying to
so
say,
that there is
what do you want me to
complete
do?
transparency.
Yeah,
I'm following the rules.
yeah.
can the board not give her the money as a cashier check to go get the refrigerator?
Yeah, we could do that.
Y'all call us if you need us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate everything.
Thank you so much, I appreciate you.
Just thank you.
You'll probably be hearing from us.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate you. Hey, we had a little bit of trouble with that too, because we would have to get stuff from the internet, and you can't pay for stuff from the internet with the check.
Mhm.
And, you can get it for so much cheaper, the exact same thing.
Exactly,
from-
if I could order it online,
So-
but I can't because we don't have that capability.
So, what we did, I'm not saying y'all have to do this, just giving you some, what we did is that we got a company card for the secretary, because that's who does the ordering and all that, and your name will be on that card. It will be, you know, the town of Bradley, but your name will be on that card, so whenever you go to use that, or order something off the internet, or whatever, they can ID you and show that that is you.
So like a debit card,
Yes, a debit card.
okay.
Yeah, it's a purchase card.
Yeah.
City of Lindsay uses them.
It's,
That way, it can be approved that you use that and that you can, you know,
and it would stay locked with the checks.
right.
And before I took it out, I would want two
Well, I mean, they will
signatures
tell you
approving
when to
it.
use it or whatever.
No, but we have two signatures required on checks. I'd want two signatures giving me permission to take
Right.
the card out.
The logbook
A
of that
logbook,
card.
that's what I'm saying. That's,
Yeah.
I want complete transparency on
Right,
everything.
sure. That's the way we do, we just,
Okay.
because we would have to, you know, to buy filters for the well house, they would be $12 on Amazon, and they were $64
Or
a
at-
piece.
At Home Depot or
Yeah,
wherever.
Wherever
Yeah, I
you had to
can.
get, and it was the exact same, so. But you guys will have to have minutes approved saying that, you approve for you to get a,
Yeah, I'll put that on next month's
For the
agenda
town,
because it's not on our agenda tonight.
but that's just what they will have to have, that it is approved at
Yes.
the bank.
Thank you, ma'am. That really helps.
We'll back that down.
So a cashier's check, I guess. I'll have to call Home Depot and see what their delivery charge is. Cause I don't have a vehicle that can pick the refrigerator
Yeah,
up,
I'd rather, get them to,
deliver it and
and that
install
was,
it.
that was what, 14 something, I think, the last.
14, but that was, yeah, I'll have to double check, cause you know how
Oh, yeah.
Thank
one
you.
month it was, the month we approved it, it was 14 something. Now that we haven't been able to go that route, it could be 15 or something by now,
That's exactly right.
so.
I make a motion that we
Get a cashier's check.
get a cashier's check to pay for the refrigerator.
A second.
How do you know exactly how much that will be? Maybe you need a bank draft or something, I don't know.
Because what I'll do is I will call Home Depot, I'll look up the one I want, I'll make sure they have it in stock. I'll ask them how much their delivery charge is, I'll let him know.
Your total cost,
Total cost, they'll get me the cashier's check and I'll have to go down and order it and pay for it. It'll be a Home Depot, it'll be a cashier's check for Home Depot. Okay. Anybody second that motion?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, guess we're down to number 7. Discuss and take action on PSO contract. I've got a hold of PSO and I still gotta get, some more tree trimming done, so I've got some bids. We're getting that guy's not here.
Did not show, he had to work late.
I've supposed to have 3 bids, one of them ain't ever sent me the last bid. But, then I found out over here, we're on Fifth and Thacker, we've gotta have some more trees trimmed.
some what?
Some more
Trees
trees
trimmed.
trimmed in order to install street lights. So I've gotta call the first contractor back, and try to find another one to come and do it. We've got it pretty well all situated, we just gotta get that done and then get started. So that's where we're at on the PSO deal. Make a motion, we go with that.
Second.
Number 8, discuss and or take action on update information on ARPA.
I've contacted OML again, and I've told them, they keep telling me to do this COVID relief IT support, and I've done it. I've sent them 7 emails. And what they come back and say is, we have you on there. They put me on as the person who can enter it. And I was like, but it keeps asking me for a backup code. Well, whoever set it up has those backup codes. And we can't reset it.
Who set it up?
Don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Was Anita Fowler here in 2020?
Anita Fowler.
No, she was elected April 6, 2021. That was when she was elected.
21.
Mhm.
Well, so, maybe you guys need to re-enter yourselves, say.
I did, I've done it all brand new, said I'm the brand new, blah, 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 blah. I have no contact with the formers, I cannot find them, and I'm at a standstill. They're like, well, you need those backup codes that were originally set up in order to get in.
So maybe you need to tell them, okay, I can't get into that account, so now we have to set up a new account for the town of Bradley.
Okay,
Set up a totally new account, because that account is dead, because nobody can use that account any longer.
okay. That's,
I mean, you're just gonna have to say, I'm sorry, that we don't have those, so we cannot get into that, so we have to have a new account.
okay, see, that's what I told them in this, that I cannot get a hold of
Yeah,
any of the
we have to have a
formers.
new account.
Okay,
That's what they're saying, they don't wanna hear it.
Excuse me, Rachel.
I'll
What was
make a
that?
motion, we.
ARPA,
Huh?
ARPA, the American Relief.
There's a
Pandemic
deadline.
Act,
We
whatever
have,
it was.
I think we have until December 6th this year to spend that money. There's a deadline on it.
Yes, I know, and that's why I'm working on it like I am.
Just down on that, we agreed on that. Number 9, discuss and take action on resolution to go from UP to budget.
Okay, the accountant contacted me, and this is currently the emails to get us, that I'm working on, to get us caught up from not having the AUPs done in 21, 22, 22, 23, or 23, 24.
The what, or the, I'm sorry.
It's the accountant, the agreement upon procedures for the town's reporting to the state for the funds hadn't been done before I took over. I finally got us picked. I got 3 quotes from 3 accountants. The board picked the one that was the most financially feasible for the town of Bradley, and I am currently working on all of this. She has suggested for 24-25 and continuing forward, the AUP is very critical. It's very nitpicky. And you gotta just make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed. It's just more complicated. She would like us to change from an AUP to a budget, because not only on the AUP, we're only allowed to allocate 90% of our funds. With a budget, we can use 100% of our funds.
And your accountant can do that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's doing it, she's working on it as I can piece together everything and get it to her. But she wanted to, a resolution of the governing body of the town of Bradley, Oklahoma, expressing the intent of the town of Bradley of Oklahoma to comply with and operate in accordance with the Municipal Budget Act, and to begin application of this act effective with the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025. Whereas the Municipal Budget Act Section 17-201 through 17-216 of Title 11 of the Oklahoma statutes provides an alternative budget procedure for municipal governments. And whereas this act establishes fiscal practices, requires greater fiscal disclosure for the public and investors, and allows municipalities to improve and implement generally accepted standards of financial management. And whereas the town of Bradley may elect to come under the Municipal Budget Act by adoption of this resolution, therefore be it resolved by the Town Board of Trustees of the town of Bradley that the town of Bradley elects to comply with and operate in accordance with the terms and provisions of the Municipal Budget Act, Section 17-201 through 17-216 of Title 11 of Oklahoma statutes and the provisions of the Municipal Budget Act will be effective for the town of Bradley, beginning with the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, which begins July 1 of 2024 and will, as provided in the act, take precedence over and supersede any other state laws applicable to municipal budgeting. And the chief executive officer, as defined in the act, is hereby authorized to take such actions as necessary to meet the requirements of the act. Adopted by the Board of Trustees of the town of Bradley this blank day of blank month, signed by the mayor and attested to by town clerk. So it's up to y'all.
What's the difference in the whatever, the IPA?
The AUP. The AUP is just a lot more complicated and time consuming, which costs us more to do. With the budget, she can allocate it the way it's just 100% of our funds to a budget, where the AUP, you could only, from what I read, can only do 90% of your funds to the budget. It would just make it easier, clear, defined.
I just didn't know if there was
It's a
Yeah.
the
budget.
reason why why it was.
It's less time consuming, as the AUPs are more time consuming. And that way it's more fiscally responsible because it's not gonna cost us as much.
And there'll be a record of it too.
Well, there's always a record of everything, but this would be, it's just an easier procedure to go through. It wouldn't
You'll do all-
require, and literally, this is 3 days. 3 days of emails, back and forth, and attachments, to where the budget would just be basically copies of the bills, copies of the deposits, copies of expenditures. So, it's up to y'all. I'm just presenting the information.
Okay, I make a motion that we go with the budget.
I second it.
Yes.
Number 10, discuss and or take action in ordering of benches.
Okay, I talked to the lady, she gave me her parameters of what she needs. The reason why it's on the agenda again is because I have no record. I have their billing address, I have the delivery site, I have, our tax exempt letter. What I do not have is, we are aware of confirmation that these benches are in ground.
In other words, not on concrete.
Right. That's what,
Now, we're talking about benches for set out
For
front.
outside,
out
yeah.
front,
They were
Out
supposed
here
to,
in
the
front
benches were
or
supposed
out
to be
by-
the ones to replace the ones that got removed from there.
Oh,
on the
okay,
slab.
you're talking about the ones up
Yeah.
on.
At the front of the
That's
building.
what I'm
6
saying.
foot
That's what
diamond
was
mod
approved.
bench. And it's just the 6 foot mod diamond bench is just those metal benches. The concrete came from the picnic tables and the concrete pads that needed the
Yeah, that
tables that you guys
yeah,
didn't want.
Yeah.
I thought
So,
we decided we weren't gonna do the picnic tables.
yes ma'am,
Just
I'm
do-
explaining what the original one was. And the fact that they didn't want, the board voted against paying
Because
all that
the pad
extra
was-
money for the
was
pad.
Way out of whack as far as concrete.
$4,500 for
4,500
2
just for
concrete
pads
pads.
and table set on, so.
Well, I know Atwoods has those metal benches on sale right now for $129, cause I just looked at them the other day. They say welcome on them.
But you've already,
I don't have an opinion either way. This is what was approved. This is what I'm following up with. The lady wanted to know what color you wanted for the backs of the benches and the seat and the desired color of the bench frame.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if I got it straight. Are you saying out on the yard or underneath the
Against the
awning?
building. At the front of the building.
I'm asking Rachel.
I don't know, I didn't pick these out, I just have the estimate.
No, we're, she
Well,
just
no,
wanted.
no,
they're
This
not
was all
ground, they're
done
gonna
before I
be
came.
underneath the porch.
When they gonna be put?
This was all decided before I came, I was just told to order, I
thought
don't
we-
know.
No, I thought we decided we needed two on the up here, where
Right
they,
against the wall.
against the
About it
wall.
last meeting.
And I thought we
Two
said maybe
6
two
foot
over
diamond.
here underneath this
Nope.
awning.
We only have 2 ordered, or 2 was on the estimate, that's it. 2 benches,
Okay.
Well, they would have been right out here then, probably.
Yeah.
yes,
Right
and
up
they're,
front.
But they won't be in the ground, they'll be,
no, that's what she's saying, she
Yeah.
wants to confirm that these are in ground.
No,
They are not.
no.
No,
no.
okay, that's all I'm
That
asking,
is-
I was not here for this discussion, I didn't see pictures. I was just given this
You're never-
as a thing to do to follow up to get an updated estimate. The original estimate, Ms. Cox, was from May of 2023. I didn't come in until May of 2024. And this is exactly all I was given.
We believe you.
It has no pictures, no nothing, it just has prices,
Okay,
so.
the answer's no. That is, we are not
So we
confirming
do
that.
not want, they have to be no in-ground.
Right.
No.
That's useless out there.
I understand, ma'am. That's what I thought, but I have to bring it here.
Yeah.
Now, if she can get us ones that are not in ground for the same quoted price, is there colors that you want for the frame, the seat, and the back?
I don't think
How
that's
much
gonna
did
know
you
the
say?
difference.
Green, yeah, rather than, probably green.
Earl, how much were they?
It's 34.50, they're 6 foot,
3,400?
yes, they're 6 feet long,
That's
and
wow,
they're
y'all.
concrete, and you all already approved it.
I
So,
wasn't here. I didn't know about it.
I would have voted no.
So you say that
That's
was
a lot
approved
of
last
money.
year? Last year?
it was approved again this year when I brought it forward.
Actually, when it was all brought to attention, I pulled the deals out there, and that was probably 4 years ago.
It's been
Whenever
pretty
the,
numerous.
The little picnic tables,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah, that's what it was,
Breaking and,
Yeah.
you know,
It's been this
somebody
long trying to get
got
something
cut
done.
or something, I mean, that's crazy.
yeah.
But the original quote from this company was May of 2023. I was requested to get an updated quote. I got the updated quote. You all said we're not doing the concrete or the tables, we want just the benches. That was what's approved.
And it's
I'm just following
3,400
up
For 2 of them or a piece?
for 2 of them, for 2 of them.
So $17.50 or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's them heavy, I'm sure.
It's
they're
their heavy
6
duty
foot
that
long.
somebody can't just pick up and walk off with.
Yeah.
They're 6
That's
foot
the whole
long.
But they
point.
can still be under the awning.
Yeah.
They can still be under the
Yeah,
awning.
That's what I'm gonna find out from
Okay.
her.
Bring a notebook.
If not,
Yeah.
no.
It's those ones that are made like at the park, you know, I think
Yeah,
parks are
those would
in,
be nice.
Yeah.
well, that's probably what they'll be, like those, not in the,
Is that a cemetery where you come in and put a bench?
No, no, these are a lot better.
cement, these are like,
I mean, this
Metal.
has been approved,
Okay.
to go under
Have the back on them and everything.
porch here, against the wall.
they said drains and that stuff. The sea
I'm not
different
ready
backs.
to quit.
Okay, we wanna just,
She had that wrong.
Number 11.
we've been voted on green, right? Okay, number 11, discuss and take action, the town clerks.
Newer and newer.
And, yeah, that's what you said. I make a motion on that.
I second.
We have a, open meetings and open records seminar. The closest one to us is December 16th in Oklahoma City. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. It's for town clerks and board members to attend so that we have training on open meetings and open records seminar, and it's completely free. But I still felt that I had to put it on the agenda so the public knew that we were,
Gotta go to school,
yes, ma'am.
And she's gotta go to school.
everybody.
What?
All 3 of them.
All four board, I mean, all four.
No, she's already done hers.
No, I did the financial, I didn't do open meetings because they didn't have one.
You're not gonna hurt them all to go.
That's right.
It's free of charge. It's free, so
So you said 1 to 4?
1 to 4 on December 16th in Oklahoma City at the Metro Tech Conference Center.
You write that down.
What do you want you to?
I don't know.
I'm getting off work that day at 11 if you would like me to pick
You're
you
his
up. and
secretary,
go with
ma'am.
you. We can go in my car,
That'll work.
since we're both smokers.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
But it don't bother.
It don't bother you, okay.
One to-
1 to 4, Metro 2.
I'll give you a copy of the letter, sir.
She's on another board, don't mess with her.
Okay, number 12, adjourned.
I second it.
Yes.